Hi and welcome to today's video where I have my empties for the month of May 25. So I've got quite a lot of here in front of me, and I'm going to try and start off with some bath and body, then skincare, hair care, and then over to makeup. So I'll start off with something that is ancillary to my bath and body care, but when I have a bath each night I do use a candle. So I had this in an advent calendar, and it is the Ritual of Sakura, which isn't a scent I particularly like, but it has burnt right through. In fact, the wick's gone, but there's quite a bit left in the jar. So although the burn was clean because it's soy wax, the wick wasn't very good. So I got it free, but I wouldn't buy it. But Sakura isn't a fragrance I particularly like. Then I've got from Parks Black Magic of Food de Boy, which is the wood fragrance, which we will have seen if you've seen my 50 Shades of Grey. So that is another empty. Then I have a Monday Smooth shampoo. Mr. Bear mainly used that. I used a little of it, then I passed it to him. And I've used 3 of the Golden Glow by Astonish, which I love for a bubble bath because I like that sort of experience. Then for body cream, let me just see. We finished off Dirty Works, the Big Softy Body Butter. To be fair, Mr. Bear used quite a bit of this. This is a slight fruity, chemically sort of scent. He enjoyed that. Anything else, Bath and Body? Yes, I've got a few things here. Just my desk in front of me is quite small and it's overflowing. I do have another one of these. That might be it, but I don't know. Let's see. Yes, no. I've got 3 of, and I've had these a while actually, so I don't know if they're still around. The Treacle Moon bath salts. I've got mango, apple pie hugs, and the Dreamcatcher. To be honest, when they dissolved, they had very much the same fragrance. I just think this was like a top fragrance as you were putting it into the bath. But each one of them represents just one bath. You get 80 gram, and they were nice enough. I use them like once a week because I do have problems with electrolyte levels. And these do have electrolytes in, so I have to be a bit careful. But I use one over the weeks because I'd had them a while and I did enjoy using them. I'm sure there'll be other Bath and Body stuff coming up. Oh yes, I've got a Molten Brown, I think it's Fiery Pink Pepper body wash, which Mr. Bear used. Then I'll just move on to face care. For moisturiser, Mr. Bear used hyaluronic acid, naturally derived from wheat. And I got this in a beauty box that I think is now defunct. I think it's Latest in Beauty, one of their selection boxes, so that's one of the last items he used as a mask, as a hydrating mask, and he's quite enjoyed that one. I've got a face mask, a tropical peel from Superdrug, and I've got 2. One of them had gone off. There must have been an air puncture in it and it had gone rubbery, and this one was fine. I do find with honey type masks, they do tend to leave my skin quite red, but it was a pleasant mask, and it's one that you peel off. I think I used one of these and Mr. Bear used the other. These are both by Filorga, and this is Time Reverse. You get Filorga in M&S, but I got these in beauty boxes, and this is a Nutrit filler, which is supposed to be to fill lines. I can't see that it particularly does, but those are 2 15ml that are now used up. Also, we've got these were in my 50 Shades of Grey, and I have by Grow and Alchemist, I have a moisturiser, which does smell of hemp or cannabis, and not my favourite sort of thing. I think that is inherently in this range because it's Grow and Alchemist, so I used that up. And then there's a hand cream which I also finished up there, so that's another couple of items done. In addition, I use an Elemis resurfacing facial wash. Whoops, there. They're not my favourite because I don't particularly like chemical washes, but they're fine as they go. It's just my skin can be a bit too sensitive, but this wasn't bad if you spaced it out and only used it a few times a week. Mr. Bear used this Lancaster SPF 30 sample that came in a beauty box. I've got a hair care item. Now this is my favourite conditioner, mask, whatever, that to date, and this is by Paradox, which is an Irish brand, and this is their conditioner. Now they do a moisture mask in a pot or in a jar, and it's in the same system. It's a baby pink, blush pink sort of shade. It has faded a bit in the light, but because I had it in my bathroom, but I didn't find the heavy duty one did very much for my hair. This conditioner, which is slightly lighter, it's a gel conditioner, was really good. And I have used several of these, and I've actually got a big aluminium container from them, which I purchased a while ago. But I love the Paradox conditioner in the pink tube. I think they do for different conditioners. Absolutely adore it. I've gone through a couple of these wet wipes, which I use as a final stage when I to get makeup off. I've used a Nux lip balm. Now this is in the old packaging. I do have one in the newer packaging. That was a bit gritty because it was quite old, but I was able to use it. It's a honey one, but it is quite nutritive. I did enjoy it. I've got a Nux Bio chia seed serum. It's like an oil serum, and this one, like I say, it's chia seed. It's 5ml from Nux. Quite enjoyed that one. So that is all finished. I've used a K18 biomimetic hair science, so that's a hair mask. Now this I was only able to get a couple of uses out of, and I've had this age. I originally got this to try it out, and then I think I put it aside, and then ended up buying a 50ml or something like that, or it came in a beauty box. But I did eventually get to use that, and I really do enjoy this mask. And I use this as I'm dyeing my hair, the day I dye it, and then the 3 extra washes after subsequent washes. That is to help fortify the hair and repair some bonds. I finished off, and speaking about that, I've actually managed to finish off an Ollex System. This is a travelling stylist kit. So what you have in here is Ollex 1, which you put on with your hair dye, and then after you've rinsed your hair dye, before you shampoo, you put Ollex 2 on for 10 minutes. So you get 2 Ollex 2s in this kit. One Ollex 1, because this is an oil with a syringe, and these are difficult to get hold of. You were able to get this a few years ago, but I found difficulty getting a replacement, but I was able to source one because this is for professional hairdressers only. But it doesn't damage the hair, but I think it is to make sure just to keep the brand expensive and exclusive to salons, and the rest of the system after 2 is for home use. But I have got another kit which you'll have seen, which I'm starting now, which is the Ollex, like I say, 1 and 2 kit. Mr. Bear used a SVR eye cream. So that's not a brand, I've heard of them, but I haven't used this product before. It took him months, and he said he enjoyed that. I've got an instant hydrating mask here, Knight and Wilson, which you get in beauty boxes. It wasn't bad. It's a gel, and it wasn't bad. I found those that are more oil and emollient don't seem to be any better than the gel type. I think because my hair is quite unruly, because it's a coarse grey. I've got from Space Masks an eye mask. Now this one is more expensive than there's another, is it Pro Mask, that do a lot of face masks. They do eye masks, but both of them are absolutely lovely. And when it has iron oxide in, so when you open the package, you get an eye mask with a band. It's like a cotton mask, and it does, because it has iron in, it heats up in reaction to the air, the oxygen in the air. You put it on, and it lasts a long time. I think they say around 15-20 minutes, much longer, maybe up to an hour, and it does help with sleep. If you have tired eyes or headaches, it may be of benefit to you. But I find this and the Pro Beauty, this is dearer, to be equally as good as one another. That is just my opinion. I've used a Saturday Skin brightening mask. I've had this for ages. That was fine. I've used this is it, Pro Beauty. That's the other eye mask that I use. Detoxifying bubble cleanse mask. That was fine. It's a sheet mask with bubbles, white bubbles rather than black. Because often with detox taking charcoal, it'd be black. I don't think this was. It was white. That was fine. I've used a Law mask, which is a London-based company. This was in my 50 Shades of Grey. Really nice, nourishing mask that did help to silken my hair to some degree. So it's likely, I'll keep the outer packaging to remind me to buy a set. I think you get 6 of these for £42, but these, I think you put it on dry hair, but I think I got 2 uses out of this. But because your hair's dry, you need more than if it was wet. But I really enjoyed that. Then I've Mr. Bear used up a Neod Multimolecular Hyaluronic Complex, which I picked up from TK Maxx. He enjoyed that one. I've got a Pout by Frank Body. Now this is my favourite lip product or lip balm. Unfortunately, I'd left it and Tommy opened it, it had gone off. It should smell of marshmallow and it smells plasticky. So I've decided, I tried it once, twice, that I'm just going to discard it. But this is my favourite Frank Body. But I think the standard Frank Body has a slightly fruity one, but they did do limited edition ones, but they don't seem to do them in the last couple of years or so. But I really recommend this if you want. It does a thick coating on the lips. It's not too slippy. It's really comfortable and nourishing, and the lips feel lovely overnight. It just says lip tint, but it's more of a balm because there is one without the tint. So so I'm not sure it's just a balm, but it's absolutely lovely. I've just got a message there. So yeah, that was great. The next thing I have is, I think I'm on to the makeup, believe it or not. So I've finished up a Milani Make It Last setting spray. So that was in my project pan. I've got to find another item to put in. I have one in mind, not a setting spray, but this is all used up. It was quite nice, and I can't say, I'm not sure it would give the greatest longevity, but it did help blend the makeup, and I think it does have some ability to last more than the general matte Fix Plus. But I did enjoy that one. Oh, I found this as well, I meant to show you. I've got from Kerstar a nutritive serum, which you put on overnight. I don't like the scent, but it is very good at nourishing if you've got dry hair. You put it on the mid-lengths and ends. But the scent, yeah, I think it's sandalwood and tonka, I think. So I don't like that, but I'm glad to have that all finished up. I did stand it upside down, and obviously you get a few drops, and I think that's from the tube of the dispenser. Then I have an item for declutter, and that is a nail polish from Sally Hansen, and that's because it's gone gummy, even though I did try and revive it with thinners. It didn't work. I finished up my Milk toasted bronzer, which I decanted into a pot. That's all gone. So that was in the first week of May. That was all finished up. So that's another empty. I've also used up a Dior Show 4D primer. So it's a maximizer primer for the eye. So it's an eyelash primer. It did nothing. Really very disappointed. Now, the only thing it made was add a bit of curl. I don't know, because I do have curly lashes. I don't think so. But it was very thin. It didn't add any body. So I didn't see any improvement, or very little improvement with mascara on top. So it's not one I could recommend, because this is around £35 and I just don't think it's worth it at all. So no, really, really disappointing. I like the Lash Paradise. That's what I'm using from L'Oreal. I'm also decluttering I don't know how this has got dirty. Several lipsticks. I've got this. I'm getting rid of all my mattes. This is a matte which I got in an advent calendar, I think, from, let me just see where it's Charlotte Tilbury. So that's going. I might be able to pass that on. And I've also got two, and these, a lot of people do love this, Gone Greige by Maybelline, and these are very difficult to get hold of, and the reason I'm getting rid of the matte, they may look shiny but they go directly to matte, which I don't like. So I've got two friends that would like this greyish taupe colour, so I'm going to pass these two on. I've got a Veil from Hourglass, the primer. Really enjoyed it. It's thin, very smooth, smoothing primer. It's not moisturising, but it does leave a smooth canvas. I enjoyed that so much so that I think I'm going to get a travel size, because normally I only like ones that give a lot of hydration, but it's not drying either. It's not a drying one, but I really did enjoy it. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I've actually got another that slipped somewhere. I think I used 6 samples up. But I've got a D Squared Wood. I've got a Gucci, I don't know if it's Guilty. I know I've got a Flora as well, Gucci Flora. A Miu Miu. And I think the original Miu Miu. And yeah, Gucci Bloom. So they're all being used up this month. Also, I've used up 2 perfumes, can you believe it? I finished off this Jo Malone which is Peony and Blush Suede Cologne. And I've got here a Valentino perfume in, I think it's called Born in Rome Coral or Coral. Not a particular favourite. It's a bit harsh and chemically and artificial for me. I mean, all perfumes are chemicals, but a bit harsh. So, but I managed to use it all up. I bought it, I think, last year. So I've got that finished and out of my collection. The final 2 items I've got are makeup. So I finished this massive Laura Mercier. It took around just under 18 months to finish up. And this is the big tub there. The only thing I will say is a negative. The sifter in these sorts of tubs are built in, so you can't remove it. It's moulded in. But I did manage to use it all up. They've changed the formula, taken the talc out, so I'm not going to be rebuying. I found the one that I'm using at the moment to be finer than this. This can be a bit heavy, but it isn't particularly drying at all. So I have enjoyed that, but I'm glad to have that finished. And then finally, I've got another declutter, and this is Shade and Light from Kat Von D when she was involved in Plum. So it's an eyeshadow palette, which I've never used. So I've used it this month under like 50 Shades of Grey. Used it a couple of times, don't like it, and I'm going to be passing this on. Now, all the empties, I just wanted to mention something here. I have previously spoken about a recycle scheme called RecycleMe, and I wanted to give you some information because obviously I do recycle. Now, towards the mid part of May, I received an email saying that the scheme was changing. So instead of being able to send items in, you can send 5 items in a packet and get £5 voucher rewards off Cult Beauty or Look Fantastic. They've changed it so that you don't get a direct money to spend. Instead, what happens is you do get a voucher, but it's £5 off a £25 spend. So you have to spend £20. You get an item that's £25, say, you get £5 off and you pay 20. So basically, it's a 25% discount. So no, sorry, a 20% discount. So my view is that if you follow any YouTubers that unbox Look Fantastic beauty box on a sponsored deal, many will have discount codes where you put the name of the YouTuber in, or and you will actually get a discount, and many run up to 20 or 21%. So really, using the credits for Look Fantastic on a day-to-day basis isn't really that cost effective because you can get 20% off. But where it can work is there are some times and some boxes and some items you can't use discount codes from YouTubers. So on those instances, I'm thinking of specialist beauty boxes, the Advent Calendar series. What I will do is still carry on recycling, and I will use some of the vouchers, load them together, or try to, and get the Advent Calendar if I like it this year. When you do get the voucher for £5 off a £25 spend, you cannot use it with any other vouchers. So if the site has a site-wide sale with a code, you can't then use your RecycleMe scheme rewards going forward. Any new rewards from the 11th of June. So same with Cult Beauty, you often get 20% off items, but sometimes it's not across everything. So what I'm going to do, I will still recycle some, so I've got some rewards held back if I want a discount when there isn't a sale, say a new launch or an Advent Calendar, that sort of thing, or a specialist box that isn't discounted. So it's not as good, because you have to spend to get a little bit of money off, and that's the way it is. I think the Boots system, which is run by the same company, I think that's what it is, and it's not up to RecycleMe, it is up to the Hook Group that manage their own Cult Beauty and Look Fantastic. So like I say, you can't stack all at the moment. I've got quite a lot of vouchers which I could use to buy something outright, and unfortunately you can't do that anymore. If there's any clarification, let me know in the box down below. But it's c'est la vie, it is what it is. But can I say thank you very much for watching, as I do appreciate that your time is valuable. Hopefully I shall see you in another video. Otherwise, please take care of yourselves, and bye for now.